right, guys. Name is Tyler, aka Nanogenix, and today we are doing something a lot of you guys have been asking, which is for me to make a 300 million download celebration speculation, but not to just make this an entire speculatory type video. I wanted to do a couple other things. For one, there was an incredible post, which I'm going to put a link to down below over on the Dokkan sub right now, that sort of calculates all of the tickets that you should have. We're just going to talk about that briefly. Then I do want to honestly speculate, just throw out there my 2 cents on what I think it could actually be, and then throw out there maybe even a bit of a wonky one. And then some other things I would like to come along with the 30 million download celebration as well. And then we're going to take a look at the 250 million download celebration just quickly to kind of sort of give us an idea as to what to truly expect with this, because they are pretty habitual in the fact that you can pretty well look at some of their older celebrations and imagine they're going to kind of keep that kind of framework, that sort of outline, and then just sort of kind of bring it up a bit of a notch. You know what I mean? That just seems to be kind of how they work. So that's everything that we're taking a look at in today's video. So first up, let's talk about a shout out to Fish Amorphous on the Dokkan sub, a link to his full post because he put a lot of work and time into it down below, but he actually did the calculations on how many stones you should have received a roundabout, right? Some stuff could obviously be different per player, but a roundabout amount if you acquired as many as possible since 1 year ago during the 250 million download celebration up until now, how many stones you should have received, and then how many tickets that should equate to. Because if you're not familiar with one of these download celebrations, typically what they do is they give us 1 ticket for 50 dragon stones spent to spend onto a banner, which we're going to talk about what the banner looked like last year and probably kind of what to expect on it this year. And that rounded out to about 85 tickets per person just from free to play stones. That of course doesn't account for if you spent any stones out of your own pocket. That doesn't count for if you were a new player between now and then. That was actually looking at someone who had been playing the game and just literally the amount of stones that you're able to acquire from new events, from stuff like that, login bonuses and all of that up until now would have been a little over 4,200 stones, which equates to about 85 tickets, which is actually pretty impressive. So if you were a newer player in that time, you've started playing since then you probably have even more that you're going to get back in terms of tickets to then spend on this banner. At 85 tickets, that's a lot, dude. That's 85 new characters you're gonna be able to summon for. Hopefully some SSRs will be in there as well. So anyway, a link to this post will be down below if you guys want to hop into that and look into that even deeper, because he did some really cool stuff over there. So before we hop into the my actual guesses as to what I think could possibly happen with this big celebration, I do want to go ahead and say, if you guys are new to the channel, if you guys are enjoying today's video so far, you look down there, you see that subscribe button's not red, you might consider going down there, hitting that subscribe button, joining #Now Fam today. The goal for this month is to hit 460,000. So if there's not a 460 there, you might consider subscribing, because this celebration is gonna be huge, man. We should have the official reveal later this week. So there's a live stream slated for 8 p.m. in Japan on the 17th. So during that time, they're supposed to reveal, like they did for the 4-year celebration, basically everything that's going to be coming along for this celebration. So it should be a pretty hype time. I'll obviously be covering it here on the channel. And then as soon as that happens, we shall start just seeing all kinds of new stuff sort of pour through. We'll be doing summons, we'll be doing gameplay videos, we'll be covering the info, we'll be doing all of that. And it should be happening on both sides, because Global also has a maintenance that was announced for Sunday evening. So 300 million download celebration is upon us. Probably next week will be a pre-celebration sort of type moment. They usually like to do those, like kind of the build up to the bigger celebration. So it'll be kind of our pre-300 like login bonus and stuff like that. And then probably the week after that is about the time when the actual 300 million download celebration should start. So legitimately from the end of August until the end of September, we're gonna be pumping out all kinds of content here on this channel. So to hop into it though, my best guesses, first up is a dual Dokkan Fest with a transforming Cell and a transforming Gohan. Now, how they want to handle that, that's all up to them. Possibly even have active abilities, who knows? But that is my first guess, is a transforming Cell and a transforming Gohan. And this is just because a lot of stuff right now has been leading into this sort of era of Dragon Ball, and it's been a minute since I feel like they've really visited that as well. And let's be real, everyone, since these transforming Cell units have been a thing, everyone's been like, okay, when is Cell going to get a new one? And of course, a lot of people want a new Gohan card and a new potentially Hybrid Saiyans lead, because the Ultimate Gohan in a lot of cases just doesn't really do it for a lot of people. And then again, because they do seem to be pretty habitual, then as a part 2, there would be a brand new LR Goku and Gohan that ultimately, whether it be an active ability on their LR form, or once they are in their LR state, are a father-son Kamehameha, Gohan, and Goku. And they actually do justice to that incredible moment that is not, of course, anything like the current Intelligence LR Gohan that we have right now. So that's my first guess. Transferring Cell, transferring Gohan is part of the Dual Dokkan Fest, which then leads into a part 2, which gives us an LR Gohan and Goku. My other really sort of best guess here is a UI Goku and a Jiren Dual Dokkan Fest, potentially transferring units. We already have a transferring UI Goku, but maybe in this state it's some form of an active ability or something like that. I really want them to bring a new UI Goku and of course a new Jiren that utilize the new active ability sort of mechanic, and also just everything they've been doing with a lot of these super attacks these days. Not that they really skimped on either one of Jiren or UI Goku super attacks, but they've even taken them up a whole nother notch since those units released so long ago that I would love to see what they could do with them now. And then the LR that would follow suit with that would be a Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta and a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku together when they are fighting Jiren. That would be some, I mean, I think either way you look at this, both of those things, a Cell Gohan, a Cell Saga type thing, or a Tournament of Power type celebration, both would be incredibly hype. You guys can let me know which ones you rather have. The UI Goku and the Jiren, or the Cell and the Gohan. And then my last sort of one-off type thing is a Super Dragon Ball Heroes inspired one with a dual SSJ4 Vegito and Gogeta Dokkan Fest. And then the LR, kind of similar because there is a card for this, a Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta and UI Goku combined card coming from, because there is a really awesome card that you can get in Super Dragon Ball Heroes that is them combined, and it is really freaking cool. So those are my two real guesses, and then my one off the wall because Super Dragon Ball Heroes is actually on global now, which is kind of crazy. So those are my everything there, because again, this should be on both sides. Everything should be releasing at the same time, which also to note that a lot of you guys that have been looking forward to, like, say, the Super Saiyan League Goku, the Trunks and the Merged Masu on global side, those are probably getting pushed back now because of, well, all of this happening, right? That's probably going to get pushed back a little bit later. Then a couple other things before we hop into the actual sort of just facts of the 250 million download celebration. A couple other things I'd like to see would be new SBR stages. Finally, because it's been over a year now, the JP side got the latest SBR stages in like June or July of last year. We haven't had any new ones added, but we have a ton of categories. So we'd love to see a new 10 stages added for SBR, as well as a new, obviously, free-to-play LR. And if you guys are familiar with the art that the Goku and the Gohan that we have right now are from, there's a Krillin that could also go and see with Fat too. So shout out to the boy D-Free, DBZ, UHD, 4K Blu-ray disc player. He would obviously, I'm sure, love an LR Krillin in the game, so that'd be pretty dope too. And then last but not least, I would love to see a new Friend Summon LR2. We haven't seen one of those in a good minute as well. I mean, the last one was the LR Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, which is quite some time ago at this point. So it'd be cool to see them add a new Friend Summon, free-to-play LR. And the one that I'm suggesting here is maybe it is a Krillin and base unit, but when it gets into its LR state, it's a Z Warriors unit. And what we've seen them do with the free-to-play King Cold and Mecha Frieza, the free-to-play even Prime Battle First Form Cell, can I talk? They could do some really cool stuff with that, and they could still make, even though it's a free-to-play Friend Summon unit, they could still make it really, really good. So would love to see them do that as well. Finally having a Z Warriors LR in the game, it would be really, really cool to see that happen too, and that be a la a Friend Summon unit. So earlier we gave a shout out to, of course, the Dokkan sub. Now we're giving a shout out to dvc.space. A link to this will also be down below in the description of the video. This is the banner last year that we got, and again, the way it works, for every 50 Dragon Stones you spent in a certain sort of time, so like in our case right now, sometime late August in 2018 until late August of 2019, they'll calculate up however many 50 Dragon Stones you spent, and then that will turn into one ticket to be used on this banner. And as you can see, if you reverse time a year ago, this is a pretty solid banner for, I'm sure, a large portion of the player base. Now, if you spend a lot on the game like me, well, these units kind of sort of just become like dupes for units you already have SA10 and maybe all paths open, but it can still be super helpful for some of the one-offs. There might be some in this banner that like even I personally don't have all the, you know, sort of paths opened on or something like that. And of course, to a lot of the player base, these could be some huge improvements on their accounts. I mean, stuff like UI Goku and stuff a year ago was a pretty awesome thing to have. So, you know, again, you got to put yourself in the mindset, take off the entire last year of this game. And there's a lot of good stuff to be had here. And even some understated things like EZA Beerus, who at the time didn't have an Extreme Z Awaken, EZA Gogeta, stuff like that, that while they're older cards, maybe aren't that hyped to pull, a lot of people maybe don't have them. I've had people in my chat lately, it's been weird, telling me they've never pulled like a AGL SSJ4 Vegeta, even though they spend quite a few stones and stuff similar to that. And I'm like, that's nuts, but I guess I also kind of get it. So this banner is actually pretty solid for what it is. And what I wanted to look at before we hop into stuff like what actually happened last year with all of this is just kind of maybe taking a gander at what could possibly be actually in the banner. I could legitimately see them putting quite a few Dokkan festivals. I think their cutoff would be probably in the realm of like this right here. I don't know if you see Gogeta and Broly be on this. If Gogeta and Broly end up being on the 300 million download celebration banner, I think people are going to freak out, me myself included, because I can still use copies of both of them on both versions of the game. I do not have either of them rainbowed on either version of the game, which I know it sounds crazy, but I really don't. But I think that's your cutoff. I don't think you see Gogeta. I don't think you see Broly. I don't think you see transforming Vegeta. I don't think you see Metacooler. Well, actually, you know what? Because the banners will probably be the same. You might actually see some of these units actually be included on this ticket banner, but I don't think so. I think the cutoff really will be around this time right here. I think you're going to see stuff like maybe Hit. I think you're going to see stuff like maybe the transforming Buu, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, the physical Majin Buu Saga lead with, you know, Super Vegito. I think you see stuff like that. I really do think Gogeta and Broly might be the cutoff. They might be generous enough to include that stuff, but I don't think they will be. I mean, Future Gohan, I think, is included, stuff like that. MVP 17, I think, could be on it. And I don't know if they're willing yet to give up a Dokkan Festival LR like the Gogeta and the Vegito, but I think it could be possible too. I think you see Turles on it, who I can't even use anymore, but I think you could see Turles on it as well, of course, like the transforming Vegeta, the transforming Frieza, stuff like that. I think they could be generous enough to put that, but I don't know if A, they're generous enough to put anything past like Gogeta and Broly's release, and B, I don't know if they're generous enough to put LR Dokkan Festivals on them yet, but I do still think that they will be very, very nice banners. But this is what it looked like a year ago. And the other thing too is I also think that you'll see a lot of the units that can be easy aid, and I think those alone will be worth for a lot of the player base. So looking at what they did last year, this was part one. Just a brief quick overlook of it. Obviously, a lot of stones, a lot of daily logins. One of the cool things they did was JP versus Global. Global ended up winning last year and getting the STR Goku there, and JP ended up losing, which apparently it was on purpose. JP wanted to win the Frieza, and so JP got a physical Frieza while Global got an STR Goku. This was a very cool thing for them to do. I mean, it's literally Global versus JP. It was very cool to see them do. The ticket celebration right here, it tells you can perform summons with Dragon Stones will be available. You could eventually do Dragon Stones on it. Wasn't really worth. And then to express our gratitude, I mean, it can be worth, but it's like a shotgun blast. Don't try to go in there trying to pull one specific thing, but if you're going in there because you just want to pull a bunch of different stuff, it can be good for that. But you will get, for every 50 Dragon Stones spent, you get one celebration summon ticket. Obviously a ton of super discounts. We get another purple Dragon Stone, or sorry, premium Dragon Stone, where you can pick up one of the 120 leads. Then they give out another God Dragon, or they gave out another God Dragon Stone where you can pick up one of the EZA style units, which was obviously very nice. That has been helpful for a lot of the free-to-play player base. It's been really nice for them to do that. This was part of the Pilaf's Tro, which JP still doesn't have, so there you go. Pretty much literally telling you if first place is achieved in more than 7 countries, 50 Dragon Stones will be given out to the entire player base. Dual Dokkan Festival with the transferring Frieza, transferring Goku, brand new events, launches Treasure Hunt, which was actually awesome. You get up to 70 Dragon Stones from it. You had to do that once a day for I think 7 days, and you got 10 Dragon Stones a day. It was freaking legit, dude. It really was. We had the brand new free-to-play EZA AGL Piccolo, obviously these sort of mono specific banners, and then XP was shortened down, or XP was times by 4, and the refresh on Salmon was shortened down to 3 minutes, which was definitely nice. And then part 2, we were like, what could they possibly do? We then had the raid boss Jiren, where similar to how you just was on the global side able to take down the Shinron, exactly like that. So we had raid boss Jiren. We then had the introduction of the free-to-play little Rangers, which was actually a nice little bonus too. More discounts, and then the LR Goku and Frieza, which was absolutely insane, them releasing that on both sides like that. A lot of other things that typically come with these, but those were some of the more main things. I mean, the heavy hitter was obviously in the first portion of the celebration with a lot of the stuff. But anyways, a lot of stuff from 250, so you can expect similar things on the 300 million download celebration as well. And there you go. That was pretty much everything I wanted to talk about today. Those are my speculations out there. It could be nothing like that, right? Like those 3 guesses I gave for how the celebration will go as far as the summable units, it may end up being nothing like that. Who knows, right? Only Bandai knows. And of course, we do have the live stream coming up, so we'll be able to know here in just a few days, which is actually pretty exciting. So of course you want to be here for all of that. As I said earlier in the video, you might consider going down there, hitting that subscribe button, joining #NanoFam today. And should have said this earlier than now, but if you have any sort of guesses as to what it could be as well, free to let me know down below in the comment section. Of course, follow your boy @Nanogenix on Twitter, @Nanogenix on Instagram. That is today's video, guys. Have a great day. Keep on keeping on. If I don't see you before you hop in on these summons for 300 million download celebration, best of luck to you. Hopefully we can all walk away with something new from the tickets, or something new from, of course, the banners, whatever it ends up being. But guys, have a great day. Keep on keeping on. Nanogenix on off, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.